Hey guys, this is Jody with the Whiskey Rebellion Barcast. I'm your commissioner, and this is episode number 80. Can't believe it's been that many, but this, hey, it's Festivus for the rest of us tonight, and we're all in our festive attire except for Rob, and he has some reasons for that. And then Jack is who Jack is, and then Casey is a special guest, and we'll talk about that here in a moment. But anyway, he's actually with Axe and the Oak Distillery, and we're going to be trying some of their samples tonight. And I believe they're out of Colorado, correct, Casey?
Yes, sir. Colorado Springs.
Cool. All right. So with that being said, guys, and I know you guys love it when I say that. Cheers. Welcome to the show. I haven't poured myself a drink yet because I was cleaning, keeping the palate clean for this gig. So I have no idea what that noise was, but that was fun. Anyway. All right, Jack, you want to set us up on what we're doing here?
Absolutely. So a couple of weeks ago, I filled and mailed out a couple of samples. Actually, I rephrase that. I filled one out, and then I reached out to Axe and the Oak and Casey, and he was gracious enough to fill out a second sampling. So the first one is not an Axe and the Oak. This is something else. I want you to try it first. Get this one out of the way, right? And then we'll go into the Axe and the Oak, and we'll sit down, we'll express our feelings on that one, and we'll have Casey kind of walk us through what he sent us, and we can go from there.
Cool.
So without further ado, I safety sealed these, and if you haven't opened them, go ahead and open up your small ones.
Open up the small one. Got it.
Yep.
On it.
I should put it in the glass with the clear ice, but
oh Lord. Ridiculous. All right, so
I am.
Cheers. All right, I know this one. I think I do.
There's got a lot of heat on the back end of it. I'll tell you right now, this one here is where is it? It is 46.8% alcohol. It is a blend. It is 93.6 proof. It is 40%. Well, let's see. It's 80% bourbon and 20% rye. This one is owned by somebody with a musical background.
Is it the Heaven's Door?
Oh, you're talking about the Bob Dylan one? Yep, that's exactly what it is. Yeah.
So this is our first sample here.
So what was the proof on that again?
This was coming in at 93.6.
I like this.
It actually tastes a lot hotter than what I anticipated at 93.6, in my opinion.
And which one is that? The Highway?
It's the Highway blend.
Got you. Okay. I haven't tasted it. I have some.
I like it. I like that a lot. That's got a great taste.
Yeah, and they're pretty cool. They put their, I guess
They're in Tennessee, John.
building.
Yeah.
They are out of Tennessee.
Yeah.
They just bought a church, matter of fact.
Distilled in Columbia, apparently.
Yeah, that's where I live, Columbia, Tennessee.
All right, well, maybe
That's where
right next
our
door.
famous mule came from, right there.
Ooh.
That was commissioned for our show. So, all right. So, do we want to try the second one, or what do you guys want to do?
Well, I would hope so. We got a special guest just for the second one.
You're all good. You're all good. What does everyone think about this one? I mean, I agree with Jody. It's got more heat than I thought it would at 93.8.
Well, I'm gonna pick it up. I'll tell you that. I don't have Heaven's Door and don't have that blend, I should say, here at my home. In the 160 something bottles that I have here at the house, I do not have that one, and I do like it. What I like the best about it is probably the lower proof, but with the feel of a higher proof. I like that cinnamon and that, and then I guess that aftertaste of oak is my preference. Yeah,
You get a lot of oak.
so that's my preference. And so it hits all of those. And then I don't know what the price point is on it, but I generally see it. What's that?
I don't remember either. I bought it a while ago.
Jay would probably know.
Was it 55?
I thought it was a little higher than that. I thought it was about 78, 79.
Okay.
I think. I don't remember, but I also got it at Costco, so my prices are a little skewed on that one.
Nice.
Jay, would you have any idea what it normally goes for around here? You're on mute.
Muted.
I think it said 72.
The Heaven's Door, is that what we're
Yeah.
talking about?
Yeah.
$69.99, give or take.
Okay.
So you give us the exact number, and then you're like, give or take.
Well,
What,
you know, it
2%?
varies from store to store, right? Because they
Right.
do have their individual markups.
Of
So
course.
I think retail on it is 69.
I have to open that. I think I have the Heaven's Hill, the little.
Not Heaven's Hill.
3-pack? I'm sorry, the Heaven's Door, the 3-pack. I think that's in there.
I like it. I do like that. That was a good one. And that was an expression I have not tasted. So
I've been wanting
Alright.
to pick a bottle up over here, and I haven't yet. So very interesting to hear you guys talk about it, because I know a lot of us have got very, very similar palates. So
Yeah, it gives me more of the cinnamon tastes on the outer edges of the middle of my tongue, and it's almost a little thick. I dropped a little water in it from my melted clear ice, and it did kind of open up. It moved the cinnamon around a little bit on my tongue, if you will, and made it a little bit less. I don't want to say oily is not quite the right word I would use, but heavy, again, not the right word, but for the lack of a better term, oily, heavy, you know, it kind of lightened it up a little bit. So
a thicker mouthfeel.
yeah.
I'm good with that.
I can tell you in Ohio, this blend is $59.99. Just looking at my site I go to in Ohio.
Okay.
we may have to use Rob for our connections there.
Proxy.
But you know, I use the term campfire drink all the time, and that, you know, I like the Jefferson's rum cask because, like that, it has a lower proof, but a little bit more of a bite. It tastes like it has a little bit more bite to it. Yeah, and so that would make a great campfire type of drink that you could have, you know, out with the family or your wife or whatever, and you just sitting by the campfire, and you could have a few more than, well, I wouldn't say a few more, but you could excel a little bit past your normal limit without putting too much hurt on yourself because of the lower
Yeah.
proof. Like if we were using Backbone, store pick that I had the other day, there's 119 point something proof. Yeah, that will light you up every single taste you take of it. You put it in your mouth, it's hot. Put it down, put some ice in it, put it in your mouth, it's still going to be hot, which is good. But that would not be a campfire drink, in my opinion, unless I was hanging out with a bunch of you got yahoos, you know. All right, so tell us about bottle number 2.
KC.
Yeah, I guess I'll pass this one off over to KC real quick. But I'm gonna real quick. Let me give you a little backstory in this. So when I came up with this idea of sending all these out, I had no really idea what to do because I've never done this before. So knowing, and honestly, I've still, to this moment in time, I've still not had a sip of the Axe and the Oak yet. So that's kind of my bad, but also I feel that you guys are kind of a newcomer, heavy hitting, coming right out of the door with some really good expressions here. So what I ended up doing was I do follow a lot of the Colorado bourbons and whiskeys, you know, and there's, I won't mention them because we're focusing on Axe and the Oak today. So they popped up in my news feed kind of as I was coming up with this idea. So I kind of just sent a PM and I'm like, hey, you know, I'm not sure if you're down to help me out with this, but this is my idea. I want to send some samples out to the guys on my Barcast, and, you know, would you be willing to help and sponsor? And Casey responded back basically, yeah, what do you need? So I kind of outlined, I'm like, well, we have about 10 people and I'm doing 50 milliliter bottles, you know, the little sample bottles, and I'm filling them up and I'm going to send them out to the guys. And then I'm like, we have about 10 50 milliliter bottles. And I'm like, that's basically a 750, right? I mean, so I'm like, then as I'm writing, I'm literally driving. Well, I'm not driving. I pulled over. I was going to Home Depot.
Sure you did.
I was in the Home Depot parking lot. And as I'm typing this out, I'm like, wait a minute. Now it sounds absolutely ridiculous. I'm like, you know what? Don't worry about it. I'm sorry. I'm a fool. And Casey's like, no, dude, whatever you want, let me know. And I'll hook you up. Do you want bottles, like the little bottles, or what do you want? I'm like, you know what? I bought some. All I need are 2 extra small bottles. And, take it from there. I'll put the ball in your court. And this man, he hooked me up, and he hooked us all up with all these samples. And I'm looking at this array of spirits on my desk right now, and I can't, I'm so humbled by this generous act that I can't even believe. I probably have about, I don't know, Casey, got 4 bottles here. They're probably worth $100, $200, $3-ish, maybe $400 worth of stuff here. So I guess what I'll do is I'll just kind of pass it over to Casey because he knows what he sent us, and let's get to tasting it.
Yeah, I don't know what order you would like to go in. If that's so, that's our kind of flagship bourbon there. And kind of backstory on Axe, guys, is we started in 2013 legally. We were hanging out in a garage for a couple years. It's me and 4 friends, old friends, 20 plus years, and we just love spirits. We love all love bourbon. And my background, I kind of traveled all over the world with theater and rock and roll for several years, and wanted to get off the road. And so every break that I had, I'd get 2 weeks off at a time, go out on the road for 3 months and come back. And so we started making beer in the garage, and then that led to other things, and the product just kept getting better and better and better. And so I got off the road, and we finally pulled the trigger on it. And obviously no one knew us. We're a brand new company in 2013. And so I entered in a couple international competitions, not expecting anything to we just wanted to get our name out and start the process. And we took silver in both of those international competitions, 3 months in the barrel. We had 98 different recipes over that first kind of initial 2.5 years of trial and error. And we really landed on a good mash bill. We made all of our own product for the first 4 years until we tripled production, quadrupled sales, and we just started waxing our barrels, just depleting our barrels. And it got scary for a minute. We had no idea. We thought we were going to have to fold. And we were one of the companies that were really pig-headed when we first got in the game. We didn't want to source at all. We wanted to do all of our own stuff and all of the time, but it got to that point. And so, you probably know Law's Whiskey, some of these bigger Stranahan's. And so we're buddies with all these guys. And so I sent Al a message one day and like, hey man, we've gotten to the point where we're going to have to start sourcing. We can't keep up. And he just said, congratulations. That's awesome. But now we were extremely scared of now we're going to have to source. How are we going to keep our product consistent? And it's been a fun process because we've become really good blenders. We can blend our ass off. And still every day we're making our own product. We're putting our own product in barrels. We're about to buy a system out of Texas so it will basically increase our production by 16 times, and we'll be able to fill about 700 barrels a year, which is fantastic. But right now we are still sourcing from MGP. We've always been completely transparent, so we're blending MGP with ours and then kicking it out there. So our goal is to, in the next 3 years, once we get the new system, to really hit all of our own product here in the Colorado market. And then for all of the other markets, we'll probably do our blend, which is fantastic. Our bourbon just took gold in the World Whiskey Awards is the largest spirit competition in the world, and ours took gold in 2020. Our rye whiskeys of the world competitions taken gold in the last 2 years. So we just have a really good team. We're not fancy at all. It's me and some friends, and we've just built a really good team around us, and we've just been having a lot of fun. And this go ahead.
So question real quick, the Axe, is that, I'm assuming you're a guitarist then, since
Music.
you played on the.
Well, no. So like the background on the name is we're kind of geared ourselves around the Prohibition era, and we love the fact that we get to celebrate that we don't have to deal with the Prohibition. We don't have to deal with the rules and regulations. We get to make a product and drink a product, and our slogan is sharing stories one drink at a time. We have a whiskey bar. We don't have any TVs. We want people to come in and hang out and share conversation. And bourbon is just a great tool in sitting down across the table from somebody and just hanging and having a good time. It's great.
Agree. I love that. Love that story.
Yeah.
So, so tonight, I don't know what you sent us, Jack.
I'm assuming it's just the regular bourbon. Is that correct, Casey?
Yeah. So the one that you just showed me, yeah, that's our flagship bourbon. It's fantastic, 92 proof. If you pour it, let it breathe for about 15 seconds, 20 seconds. When that thing opens up, you got a big kind of vanilla butterscotch bomb. It's crazy. The nose is beautiful on this thing. And once you pull it in, I'll kind of just describe that. Once you pull it in, it starts real smooth, has that little rye spice, but she cools down pretty fast. And then it just has an awesome finish on it. So yeah, man, just let me know what you think, guys.
This one definitely is a warmer, and this is a campfire one for sure. This is really good. This is
I love the way it smells.
yeah, it's now I'm not one that can pick out. Mark and I are both really bad at
Yeah.
picking out the different flavors and it's got this that, another thing.
I like it or I don't.
Yeah, exactly. It either burns me or tastes like fire or it tastes good. This one is really, really good. I think I just went blank here.
No, we can see you.
Okay, sorry, Mike.
So professional.
Everything over here is going out the window, So I'll pass it on to somebody else. I'll hit mute. Go ahead, guys.
So I got a question for you, Casey. What's the age on it?
So this is a 3-year. This is a 3-year bourbon.
And this,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say this is blended.
It is, yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's all blended bourbon, or is it a blend of bourbon and rye? You mentioned both it and your own distillate.
It has rye, but no, we don't add any extra rye. This is basically our bourbon and an MGP bourbon blended. Yeah. So it's the same mash bill that we're using, that we're having MGP use, and it's fantastic. We are like I said before, we're super skeptical about sourcing and doing the MGP thing, but we have great relationships with them now, and now everyone's like. Now the stigma of sourcing is kind of going out the window, and everyone's just after the MGP because they know the MGP is just a beast and making incredible juice.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they are.
What is the mash bill exactly?
So this one's
I'm just getting ready to ask that.
yeah, no problem.
Me too.
So we're right at 70 corn, about 20 barley, and the rest is just of rye. Yeah.
20 barley. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I need a bottle to better assess this.
Okay, we can arrange that.
So the cool thing about these bottles, and I'm not sure if this is going to come through, but they listen to some pretty dope music while they're bottling them.
I don't even know.
So this one was with the Chili Peppers.
Okay.
Oh, good man. Oh, I need bottles now. Yeah, I need bottles. bottles.
So this is what I. Go ahead.
Oh, the rye wasn't bottled with any music going on. That must have been a classical day for that one.
Yeah. Yeah. Every bottle in the shop that gets bottled, we try when there's no COVID to do big bottling parties, and whatever we're listening to goes onto the bottle, and we've done that.
That's cool.
Since 2013 with our bourbon. So sometimes we'll do concerts in the distillery, and so that band will go on the bottle. So we have a lot of fun. Yeah.
Where in Colorado are you?
We're in Colorado Springs, just an hour south of Denver.
Okay.
I will tell you this, typically, and I'd like to be transparent at all times. I am not a young bourbon person. I've said this 1,000 times,
Yeah.
because you can usually taste It's almost like tasting the diaper of it. It's not old enough. I can't taste that with this. This is actually, I like it. It would be I do agree with what Jack said about it being a campfire. It has that heat to it that I like, but the proof is 92 point something is what I think what you said earlier.
92 proof, yes.
Yeah.
92.
So it has I mean, in relative comparison, it's obviously more than like Basil Hayden, but it's less than, Backbone, for example, from the other night. So, so it has that heat, but without I don't know. I personally, I've come across recently 2 young whiskeys that I like, and I'm not saying this because you're on here, because trust me, these guys all know I would tell you exactly what I'm thinking. I really do like this. I probably what I like best about it is all the characteristics that you talk about. The nose is perfect.
Yeah.
I don't know how you guys got that, but the nose is fantastic nose on it. Everything you described, the apricot and all that, you can absolutely smell that. And I would say that would go across. That would be something that I would imagine everybody could smell first, and then the taste. When I took it in, instead of it being more of a center palate, it definitely went onto the outsides, and it has all of my favorite things. It had some of the nice. It's almost like a cherry resin taste to it, but it has that finish that I think all bourbon should have, and that is you can absolutely taste the oak at the end, and that's what I want in a bourbon personally. Now there's other people who might say something different. I'll tell you the other thing it reminds me of too, is these guys know I love sherry cast bourbons, and it tastes like it's been sitting in a sherry cast. It has that kind of sweetness to it that doesn't quite have the sweetness of like a Jack Daniels would have. It has an actual bourbon sweetness that tastes like it's been like it's been sitting for, I don't know, 4 months or 6 months or 16 months in a sherry cast for a while afterwards. So it has that really nice sweetness to it as well. So I personally like it. And so what are you showing me there? Is that the sherry cast?
Oh, so this is a product, that you guys are going to be. It's not even released yet. So it's going to be released in January, and this is our bourbon that's been finished in a ruby port barrel.
Oh, yeah,
Nice.
And
I need
it's
that.
fantastic. Yeah, it's really nice. So we have sherry and port, and this is, we have the ruby port. We have a tawny port, which is really nice. We have Maduro,
Really?
Gelatos, tequila, Lafroig. We have a huge barrel project going on. So
You use the
2021.
tawny port. Wow, that's interesting. I would, yeah.
Yeah, John, what's the proof on that guy? It's higher.
I'm holding up here 114.
Ooh.
Yeah, I want to get that.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
All right, now, so we have some problems here, Casey, is I can't get, and Jay would know this too, here in Tennessee, you would think we're right here beside the bourbon capital of the world. There's a lot of stuff we can't get here, and if you can get it, it's secondary market. I can assure you we won't find that on the shelf here in Tennessee for some time, most likely.
Right. Yeah.
What is your market exactly? Where are you?
That was going to be my
shipping
question.
Yeah, so right now we're in Colorado and in Texas. We just got licensed in California, Nebraska, Kansas, Illinois, Arkansas, Georgia, Florida.
You skipped Arizona?
It's coming. We're working on it. We just don't have the license for it yet.
That's right. I'm good in Georgia.
Yeah, but we are licensed to FedEx to ship alcohol, so we can ship. If you have a liquor store, friendly liquor store, we can ship to the liquor store and you can pick up there.
Cool.
Damn
Except for
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
Well, see, we do also have Jack. Jack can also hook us up too.
Yeah. And Casey, again, that's me because, yeah.
Jack.
So
John.
when they say
I will
Jack,
Jack
they're
John.
talking about me.
Yeah, he's Jack John.
No, I told him the story earlier. I told him the story before you got on here when you were having technical difficulties. Go ahead, Mal.
Yeah.
You're all sitting there complaining. I'm in the UK. Damn it! I didn't even get the samples.
Oh man.
Neither.
So that's the next question. Are you looking internationally?
Yeah, actually, we can ship internationally, and if you get Jack, your details, I'll make sure you're taken care of. Yeah.
Jack, not a problem at all. Yeah, I'll look forward to that. I'm loving what the guys are saying about the product. And
All right.
Yeah.
I can tell you this. I poured. This is drink 1. There's still something in it. This is drink 2. It's gone.
Drink 2
that
gone.
is quick for
Yeah.
you. That is
I
quick for you.
really liked it. And I think the best analogy for it is campfire drink.
I can
And
see that.
to me, that's like that's where I like to, these guys all know I'm a big time hunter. I like to be outside. Like go camping all the time. Matter of fact, we're talking about going camping next week when it's going to be cold as hell here in Tennessee. And I'm like, the colder the better, because I like to have a drink like that, sitting by the campfire, and just having a good time and with my family and stuff. So
I'm the same. I have a cabin in Westcliff, Colorado, and I just went deer hunting, and I just had a doe tag, and I walked into a herd of 100 elk. It was incredible, but I couldn't do a damn thing. So I just went back and drank whiskey.
well, honestly,
Good man.
that happened to me the other day. I was telling these guys I have quite a few acres over here, and I like to go and hunt. And I was out there for 5 hours. I was texting these guys the whole time, and I was having a great time. I love to just sit in the woods. If I find nothing, I'm okay with that. I was walking back to my truck, and like a freaking herd of doe right there beside my truck. And I'm like, of course I didn't shoot at any of them, because that's not really the game I want to play. I'd rather get them where they're at, and it's all about the conservation of it and doing it right. And that, to me, that's not. Now I know there's some people would say differently, but to me, I was still in the woods is the way they would look at it. And I was on private property, and they'd go, I see nothing wrong with that. And to me, that's not how I roll. So, but I did come back and have a drink by the fire pit outside, because that's what I do after hunting, is I go and sit by the fire and just have a good time outside. Now we're not doing it today because I don't know what kind of winds we got going on, but it's like having the Santa Ana winds here in Tennessee. And being somebody from California, I feel like they followed us. I'm like, what is this about? You light a match outside and the whole place will burn down. So, and I wish I had more of, I really wish I had some more of the axe and the oak, because that is, I mean, it's gone. It's gone. I won't have it again until it shows back up at my house.
Sorry, guys. I guess I should have sent you 2 of them instead of just 1.
It was very tasty. You definitely get the butterscotch. You definitely get the vanilla. And maybe it's just because I still have that hint of that oak from the first one, but I picked up some oakiness to it. So
yeah, our barrels in house. We've used Kelvin Cooperage since we started, and we've kind of fallen in love with their barrels. And we've, when we first started, we were in a 4 char. We've come back. We're putting them in 2 and 3 char now, and just letting them rest. But we've had some really good success with those barrels there for sure.
So moving forward, what are we looking at as the company grows and the bourbon becomes more? Are you guys looking at? Let me ask you differently. Are you already saving some to be exceeding 4 years and going into potentially the bottled and bond, or how are you guys doing?
We are, but we're so small. Like I'm a metal worker and woodworker, and I built the system that we're currently on, and it's done well for us. Hindsight 2020, you wished you did all these things different, and I wish I started sourcing out of the gate. I wish I started making a white spirit out of the gate. I wish I spent the money on we spent the money on a bigger system right out of the gate, because we're just not able to keep up with this new system. It's a coursing system, and it'll spit out quite a bit of juice and good juice. One of my partners has another distillery down in Grapevine, Texas, called Tawakero, and they they just converted 2 Arthur Harris 500-gallon copper kettles at Vendome, And so they're going to be cranking out a lot of product, and we're buying their coursing system that's only 2 years old. So yeah, we're excited. It's putting out. I've tasted a lot of juice that it's kicking out, and it's really, really nice.
So
It sounds like you're going to be in it for the long haul. Like, so goodness only knows what your future holds, man.
Yeah. We're trying to be smart in the sense that, like, a lot of our friends have blown up just way too fast, and we want to make smart decisions, and we want to grow slow. And we're still self-distributing in Colorado. We're fortunate enough to have that opportunity. Wow. And I have a sales team of 2. We're not even through the whole state of Colorado. We're mainly just on the Front Range, and they do well for us. But yeah, we're just still a small little distillery, and we're getting some cool awards and growing, but we've got a long way to go.
So in the future, so I'm hearing a lot of positive aspects that are going to go in the future, but what's some of the, I guess, innovative ideas that you see towards the bourbon world that you want to implement or introduce to the bourbon world to make you guys the staple of the up and comers or the new ones, other than just winning awards, something that
Sure. Yeah. Well, that's the fun part. We're doing all kinds of things in the back right now with all different types of products. And I've, as you start, I started obviously with beer, and then with scotch and cigars. And then I really fell in love with bourbon. And now my palate is crazy about rye. I love rye. And so we're experimenting with all different kinds of products. What's that?
I need 3 bottles.
Well, we're still one more here. I haven't shown yet. So
You heard right.
We're working on single malts. The American single malt is really getting big.
It is, yeah.
Are really focusing on single malts here in the States, which is kind of cool. And it's just, sky's the limit for all of these distilleries. And we obviously have competition, but man, we have so many friends in the industry, and it's really cool to see them doing so well. Man, every little mash bill can just be a hair different and taste, completely different. It's just, it's so much fun. And it's so cool that we don't have to stick to the same thing or just make one product. Sky's the limit on where we can take this thing. And I think right now we're doing a lot of fun projects. I was born and raised here in Colorado Springs. I love our community. We do a lot in this community, but we're doing a lot of things with different breweries. So we'll take our barrels, we'll spit them out to the breweries, or Boxing Brothers Cider. We have several barrels over at Boxing Brothers Cider right now, and he has Monte Servino wine, so he's putting the wine in the barrel. So he just put a bunch of cab in these barrels that have already had like cider in them. So we're doing this big rotation with barrels right now, and the flavor is just crazy. There's a brewery here in town called Bristol Brewery. It's the biggest brewery in town. Awesome guy, and he called me one day. He's been using our barrels since 2013 for his Warlock. It's a really dark stout, really nice. But he's like, hey, I made too much, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I'm not going to be able to get it to market fast enough. So he brought me 523 gallons. I ran it through this still, and it's been sitting in a barrel for 5 years, and it is incredible. I hated it at first. I just did not like it. I did not like it. And now it has so much character. It's awesome. It is so good. Wow. So, I'm excited for things like that. Little projects that you can test out and everything, but throw in the corner and then open it up in 5 years, and you have this incredible beast.
Nice.
Awesome.
Very cool. Hey, John, you're one of our newer people. What were your thoughts? And what did you notice, and what did you think of the spirit itself?
Yeah. So for a young bourbon, I'm kind of blown away, just like everybody has commented on, just the smoothness and sweetness that you got to the nose. I didn't pick up a lot of the spiciness that some of you guys have mentioned, but very sweet. I I would drink this probably every day. I would really
Oh yeah, I can see that.
look at sipping on this every day. It's that good. I mean, I'm just kind of blown away that it's only 3 years. I would put this up to a few bottles that I have up here on the shelf to compare next to, but it's really, really good.
Fair enough. I dig it. I dig it. So now that I've finished off those two, I guess I can put myself in sorrows that I can't get Eagle Rare BTAC 17 year. So I'm gonna just have just regular Eagle Rare now. So
Gotta drop down to that. So
it irritates me, man, because you've been kind of a staple in that, and the prices are so ridiculous. And I was talking to Jack yesterday because I was in a deal with this guy, and I think I offered definitely for Tennessee money.
Oh hell yeah, you did.
I offered fair, very fair, and then it turns out he paid 1,400. Yeah, and I was like, yeah, that's. Trust me, I want it,
no.
but I'm not gonna pay 14 for that. I'm sorry.
well, and the issue is with the store that he bought it from. They do this whether you like it or not. We're kind of charging secondary, but we're taking that difference between MSRP and what you pay for it, and we're donating that to a charity. Now, that is really cool in theory.
If
However, well, A, if they do it, B, shouldn't the person that's actually purchasing that thing maybe get the tax receipt for it? I don't know. But you know what? I believe, look, this company, they have 2 stores. They've been around for a while, at least up here in the Denver metro area. I don't disbelieve their intentions. I don't feel that they're just charging the money and then just pocketing it. They're like a big, like a Total or a Bevco. So they're kind of like that. So they're just a couple of stores. But yeah, it was kind of really weird that, that they're actually charging the secondary prices for it. Like, I'll walk through and I'll see they have a big glass case of all their allocated stuff. And I look in there and I'm like, nope. I'm like, take me to the bargain aisle. But yeah.
But
So
that would have been great information to know ahead of time before I started negotiating with this guy. I mean, I think it was great that he only
multiple of thousands.
What?
I thought you were going to offer multiple of thousands of dollars. I got you. I got you the lead.
Well, I mean, I don't just pay for things. I reach out to other people who are a little bit, like, for example, I reached out to Jay and I was like, hey, Jay, what's the going price? I know what I've seen on the market, but I just want to get a second opinion. And so I reached directly out to Jay, who has more contacts than I do. And he was like, he gave me a number and I still went above it.
Mm-hmm.
And
let's face it, if you're going to get a second opinion, Jay's is probably the best second opinion you're going to get.
Well, he was my second opinion, but I also reached out to another person as well. So I reached out to another mutual friend that Jay and I have that we'll talk about offline. So
yeah, well, so I do know Casey's brother's birthday is today, so let's get him out of here so we can go celebrate with family. Casey, I really appreciate you really helping me out with this. This is totally awesome. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 new fans plus whoever else is watching, I'm sure. So I definitely want to make the case. Visit Axe and the Oak on their Facebook page. If you want to physically go to Axe and the Oak, don't do what my girlfriend did. And she accidentally went to the distillery instead of the whiskey house, which is where they have their retail store. So she drove from Littleton to the Springs. It's about an hour drive. And she's like, I was there at 3:30. They're closed. And I'm like, I don't have to tell you. So she went to the wrong facility. So make sure if you do want to visit them, if you're in Colorado, you want to visit Axe and the Oak in Colorado Springs, on the 3 to 7s weekdays and Saturday, correct?
Yes, sir. So it all depending on COVID, it's always changing. So if you need to give us a ring, that's a-okay.
And then Jack is our resident Colorado hookup. So if you can, you know, I already have Jack's, me and him, we Venmo each other all the time. So if you can make some transactions happen for me for, you know what I want from there, I'll
Y'all
just
want
go
everything.
ahead.
So
Well, to me, I want
prices
the
for the UK as well.
I want the port for sure, the one that's coming out in January, and then I want the one I had tonight. Rye is not one of my favorites. However, I'm willing to try it for sure. Because there are some ryes that I love, but definitely the two. I mean, the one I tried tonight, and then the one that's coming out in January. That's the one I want to get for sure. And Casey, I would love to have you back on the show again after we get those.
Yeah.
And so yeah, we do average a lot of views. We're in different places. We're on YouTube. We're on Instagram, Facebook. We post on Facebook and YouTube. Our community on YouTube has not grown that much yet, and I don't know why that is. Maybe I need to start paying people to watch our show. But on Facebook, I mean, hell, Zuckerberg cuts us off sometimes. So we're obviously hitting the right numbers there. But we do truly appreciate you being on here. We want to have you back on. Definitely after I get the port one, because that would be fabulous. Maybe we can do a show from my fire pit. Since I used it as a campfire drink numerous times. And I will tell you this, I hate to even say this out loud or publicly. I love Eagle Rare, and probably everybody on here loves Eagle Rare, but I'm drinking it much slower than I had the Axe and the Oak. And it's not because of the proof, because I'd imagine they're probably pretty close to the same. It's actually because for it to be a young whiskey, it had that sweetness that I absolutely love. With a little bit
delicious
of heat.
whiskey.
Yeah, it is really good. And I'm not just saying it because you're on the show. Trust me, we've had other people on the show, and I told them what I thought. So
we don't talk about you behind your back, man.
Yeah. And I will post this video tomorrow, so it'll be posted tomorrow. So and if I'm pretty sure that Jack sent me all the information, I will tag you guys in it, and that way you guys can you can grow your community there and have more people watch us too. That'd be great. And then if you want to be part of the everybody else wants to be part of the VIP chat, but if you want to be part of the VIP chat, that's where all the deals go down. I tell you what, it's like having a little mafia in the background.
Oh,
it's absolutely hilarious. So we have a chat. We have a chat channel where we just send random. First of all, it's either we have two chefs on the show, Rob and Billy, who's not here tonight yet. It's his daughter's in town from out of town. But anyway, those two are chefs. So it's either you're talking about a lot of food that you've never seen that only those two can make.
Yeah.
And they're like showing it to the rest of us. Then we did have some stupid comments for a while. We got rid of that problem. And then we've had a lot of really good bourbon talk and Scotch talk. That we do have some people who really love Scotch, and then we have a few people that love Jack Daniels, and they have their conversations about that. But then the biggest thing that happens on the VIP chat is deals occur. Next thing you know, I mean, this season, I've said it on definitely the last 6 shows. This season's been awesome for me. It's been absolutely awesome. I've gotten stuff that you cannot get here in Tennessee. I've went from at the beginning of the season with only 1 Rock Hill Farms to 3. I have a Stag. My collection has definitely grown. However, unlike Jack, I drink from my collection. I believe in drinking bourbon if you purchase it.
I probably will. I have something that nobody else has. But I probably will.
It's true. But I do also have Casey's information now too. So I can also reach out to him, because he did say he can ship to one of my 3 liquor stores that I'm really good friends with.
Cool.
So
yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Well,
So
really
cool, Casey. Again, I appreciate it coming out. And in closing, you got anything else to say before you bounce out?
No, just Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas.
All the
brother.
best, man.
Merry
Christmas.
Yeah.
Cheers
Thank
to
you
you,
very
my
much
friend.
for the sample. It was fantastic whiskey.
Fantastic.
Merry Christmas, man.
Thanks,
Happy
guys.
Christmas, Hanukkah.
All right.
And everything in between.
And happy
Casey,
birthday.
celebrate a good birthday for me tonight.
All right. See you guys.
Thank you,
3,
Casey.
3,
Well, that was a good time, really. I mean, for reals.
I like Casey.
Well,
Yeah,
not only do I
yeah.
like Casey, I'm being completely transparent. I actually really did love that.
His
that
whiskey was fantastic.
It
really
is.
was.
It really is.
For a young whiskey, that was fantastic.
It reminds me of, I have it over there. I may go get it here in a minute. It reminds me of, there's a Columbia, and I had it on this show, a Columbia whiskey that came from Columbia, Tennessee.
Johnny, someone, Jack, Johnny, John.
I don't think it has any of those words in it. But it's a young whiskey as well, and it is fabulous. Hold on, I'll just go get it real quick. You guys talk amongst yourself.
So,
right.
Hey, Jonathan, have you cracked this yet?
I have. Yeah. I did the night I got it.
How is that?
Man, I liked it.
It is a fantastic rye. It's got that 11-year age on it, man. Oh,
If Rob likes it, I'll definitely try it.
It's called Daddy Rack.
Danny Rack, that's the one. I thought it was Johnny Rack.
Okay.
This right here, this is what it reminded me of. I could drink this every day. This is a good, in my opinion, this is a good young whiskey.
I'm still waiting for that to come to the UK. They said it was going to be the end of the year.
It's here in the States, or here in the States, Tennessee, it's not very expensive, like $39. It's an awesome bottle. Has downtown Columbia on it, which is
Really? Okay.
Yeah, which is where that mule right there came from. All right. So it's solid. It's really good. It has a great taste to it, and has a lot of the same attributes that I like about Axe and the Oak. Has a lot of the same attributes that are really good stuff that you want to have in a whiskey. And for a young whiskey, and that's the thing with a lot of the allocations and stuff like that, you're having to move to younger whiskey to have something new or different in your life.
I would love to be the first to introduce Axe and the Oak to the British Bourbon Society. I would absolutely love that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if I had a couple $100, I would have sent that out to you. But sorry, buddy.
If Casey can ship direct to one of my stores over here, because I've got some good relationships.
Well, he said he could.
There might be something we can do.
Yeah.
So, and I'll put Casey's information into the chat as well, so we can, if y'all want to communicate with him directly, you can. But for real though, it's a good time with that. Jay, you've been kind of quiet tonight.
I don't have any samples.
I don't know why you don't.
I'm good. I gotta be quiet. I can't say anything.
Here's the thing: you're only on like 3 shows with me total, so I was like, I was looking at the guys that were here like every single day, kind of a thing. But I should have sent you over to DJ's house and you got his samples.
Hold on a second, real quick. Jay is not that sad. He picked up a bottle. He picked up his stag today. So don't let him play you. And say,
oh man,
I've just finished a stag bear. That's the first stag I've ever had, stag senior, and it is beautiful.
What year?
Yeah.
Hey,
I've got absolutely no idea, because
check the VIP chat, boys.
If you can read that, Jay, you can tell me, no problem at all. But it was a.
Can you see the proof on it?
Yeah, if you can tell us what the proof is.
Oh, okay.
I can see the name. I can see the name. That's it.
Yeah, because this year is what, 134.2? Is that right?
134. Yeah.
I need to reach out and find out who sent me, because these are the samples from my Secret Santa, and I've just been working through those, and I need to find out who got my Secret Santa and find out exactly which one it is, because it was beautiful.
Well, that you need to build a intimate relationship with that person.
Well, I've already kind of got one, even though I don't know his name.
Yeah, I have one of those too.
Very touchy feeling.
Well, that's cool. That's very cool. I'm still holding out. So if Jay or any of you guys come across, you guys, I put it in the chat. You know what I'm willing to pay for it.
I know.
If you guys come across it, my unicorn.
You know, Jody, it's funny you talking that price. I mean, I put in for the drawing in PA for it. They put it on their website at $129.99.
I was in several raffles for it. and I bought several bottles just to get my name into the raffle, just for that, and it would have been 129. And I keep looking at that. I'm like, and so I had a really big talk with my wife. I'm like, look, I can keep buying like 10 bottles at a time just so I can be in a raffle, or I can just do a one-time purchase and not buy any more short ends, you know? And she's like, will you stop buying the short ends? I'm like, I can't promise that either, but just hear me out, you know?
Don't get us in trouble.
Yeah.
So you know, I put you in touch with a bunch of guys that can, you know.
I have not seen it on there though. I look every day.
Put your valuation and say in search of that for this, and then see if somebody will take you up on it.
I will do that as soon as we finish tonight, because that would be like a Christmas miracle.
If you're in the right ballpark. I mean, I would, you know, you might just go, you know, with what you're willing to pay, not what you could pay. You know what I'm saying? You know, start a little on the lower side, but I am certain one of the fellows there can help you.
Well, I don't even care if it's this year. I just want one. You know, it could be like Chuck was telling me. He's like, oh, I've got 4 of them. I'm like, come on, dude, why don't you sell me one? He's like, well, I have them insured, and I'm like, I didn't even know you could insure bourbon. And then I looked that up, and you can. So I've got an appointment with Casey Cox, my representative, on not this coming Monday, but the following Monday.
You'll have to itemize and inventory all of it and present it to your insurance agent.
That's fine. I can do that. I mean, they're all in the right areas and they are definitely itemized. But
I need to do that then.
Because I had to do that with my guns. I had to do the same thing with my guns, and because I have several high value weapons, and it's not only that, I don't want anything to get stolen. And now the difference with a gun versus bourbon, it's almost like art. So the secondary market actually plays a value into it.
Yep.
Whereas a gun, you have a receipt, you know, and that receipt is what holds value. You know, not in all bourbon transactions. Like, think about all the bourbon transactions we've had. Other than the shipping receipts, we've not had really any receipts. It's been me sending bottles to someplace, or somebody sending bottles to someplace, or whatever. And we're like, hey, are we square? That's exactly what I said to Rob. I'm like, are we square now? And he's like, we're square. I'm like, okay, cool. Just want to make sure we're square.
So what is your address so the viewers know?
Yeah.
All that bourbon and those weapons.
1234 Main.
1313 Mockingbird Lane.
Yes. Yes.
123 Fake Street.
Fake News Street.
Fake news.
So yeah.
I gotta tell you guys, trying to drink and not pick shit up with this hand is a pain in the ass. Cause it hurts.
Man, I'm sorry, brother. I can come and look. Hey, Rob, I can come and hold it, but if I pick it up, I'm gonna drink it. I'm sorry, man.
That's okay. I gotta keep remembering to go lefty.
Yeah.
Rob, just don't drink with the same hand, dude. It's not very hygienic for a start.
I would look at it differently. I would look at it as you have time to build a new relationship with someone else.
There you go. He's visiting the blonde instead of the brunette.
Yeah. Pretend it's that redhead you've been looking at.
You know, I'm only a day into this, right? So even doing stupid things, like I got out of the car and I turned around to close the car door
and hit it.
I didn't hit it. It's the weight of the car door and pushing it on the fingers and the tendons going down into that carpal tunnel was like, oh shit! I shouldn't have done that. Like things that you just get used to doing.
Yeah. It's like being personally intimate. If you sit on your left hand for 10 minutes and then drink, it feels like you're not drinking at all.
Yeah.
Hey, I think it's we need to make sure we say hello to Mr. Lewis and have a
Mr.
drink.
Lewis in the house.
Yes.
Mr. Lewis, welcome.
Doing well. How about you, sir?
Just call him Papa Lou.
Papa Lou. I can do that.
Oh yeah.
Just like if Ice Cube showed up, or your Muslim name you had the other night, which I didn't
Yes.
forget. I'm just choosing not to say it tonight. That was ridiculous how we ended the show. He does all of the he wants to Merry Christmas everyone, of every different faith. And so he goes through it, and then he's like, and then it was Kenya who asked you, said, so did I hear you correctly, Mark? Your name is like you're Muslim?
Right. She did.
And so he
funny.
goes, no, I celebrate everybody. And he's like, or she's like, I just want to make sure, because I don't want you to change your name. Like some of them change their names and I can't even say their names. So anyway, he comes up with this freaking crazy last name, or I don't know, first and last name. I don't know how you say it, but it was just a long collection of words put together randomly. And
Pretty much.
there was, I will tell you this, Ben Daddy was the ending to it. So it's ridiculous. So good times. But we
Hey, Joe,
are
so
what?
this used to be Jefferson's rum cask.
Yep, I can see that you've made it white, so it would tell me that it's probably eggnog, right?
So in Trinidad, we have a version of the eggnog and coquito. We call it punch cream.
Mhm.
That's what this is.
All right.
This one is
What's
rum.
in it?
Rum. Actually, he did some with, so my dad makes it. He did some with bourbon, but in this case, the rum is much better. Which rum is this? This the Angostura 7?
Day 7.
Yeah.
So let me
A
ask
lot
you
of
this,
it.
Mark. Could you would you mind putting some in a bottle for me and send it to me?
Will it keep?
Yeah.
I mean, the alcohol, I don't know if it'll keep.
Go to the ice.
I don't know if
Oh, you have to keep it in the
that's a good question.
refrigerator? You have to keep it in the
Yeah.
refrigerator? Oh, okay.
I don't know if it'll.
Maybe ship it with an ice pack.
Or you can just reach out to Jack Frost. He can help you out.
Yeah, we put an ice pack.
Yeah, I'll send you ice, then you can send him stuff.
He's Tennessee, so near Nashville.
One of these.
I don't know.
I mean, right now would not be.
Let me look at it. We'll see.
Like after the new year, when the postal service is back on its feet.
Oh, that
And then ship it with an ice pack. Yeah.
But anyway, listen, we're at the top of the hour, so I want to end the recording, and we can all stick around for a few more minutes. But at some point, I do need to collect the recording, and so I can make it to be post. So, Jack, would you like to close us out tonight?
Sure. Okay, Whiskey Rebellion Barcast is our Facebook page. You definitely want to be part of the VIP chat. Reach out through the page, ask to be part of it. We chit chat, BS. We upset some people. We appease some other people. We tell stories. We post pictures. We have a good time in the VIP chat. So definitely want to be part of that. Again, Whiskey Rebellion Barcast Facebook page. Billy didn't make it tonight. He had a family thing, had to pull him away from this. But we do want to reach out to him, show him some love, prayers and thoughts with him. Also visit his barbecue page. It's cafe305bbq.com is the website, and Be Good to Yourself is his YouTube page. Also, Casey at Axe in the Oak Distillery. He hooked us up with some samples. Please go visit them. Axe in the Oak Distillery. Find them on Facebook. I'm sure he's got, actually he does, Axe in the Oak Distillery.com, I believe it is. Quick Google search for that one will get you that. And finally, in closing, please call an Uber. Do not drink and drive. Drink responsibly. Don't act a fool. Save somebody else's life. And enjoy it and have a great Christmas. And are we doing anything between now and New Year's?
That's a fabulous question. I am not doing anything with the Barcast for until after the 4th of January. The 4th of January. And the reason why is because I'll be spending time with my family and stuff. And you guys, if someone wants to host, you can absolutely host. You can do that. I'm totally cool with that if you want to do that. But I will not be in attendance. So.
And back on the road next week, guys. So I say we all just have a Merry Christmas, enjoy the New Year, the holiday, and the New Year, and reconvene at the start of the next year. Merry Christmas.
The last time you guys see, you see the moose until I guess, episode 160 of next year.
Happy Christmas, Quantica.
Hey, Jody,
Sir,
after the virus go away, I would like to meet you. I'd like to come up to Tennessee and meet you.
yeah, I would like that too. But I want you to bring your son because I'd like to meet him as well.
I'm due for a Nashville visit. I'm in trouble right now with all my family in Nashville. I'm in big Tennessee trouble right now, so a trip is due.
Well, that's pretty big is what I hear. I have no
Yes.
idea. I don't have a whole lot of family here, but I hear that's a big deal. So
I'm in trouble.
hey,
So,
let's say goodnight of the recording and we'll say hello to the after show. So peace out, guys.
blessings, family.
All the
Love
best,
everybody.
love to you guys.
I know.
Merry Christmas, all the best.